A new leak has revealed files indicating a PlayStation PC launcher and PSN account linking for PlayStation games on PC could be on the way. If true, it could provide a lot of benefits and maybe some annoyances for PlayStation game fans, but let's talk about the leak and where it came from, and then we can get into the whys and what ifs. Video Games Chronicle reported earlier this week, after the launch of Spider-Man Remastered for PC, fans began combing the game's files for anything they could find, and they actually kind of found a lot. In addition to a potentially cut two-player co-op mode, evidence was also discovered that Sony could be planning to introduce PSN integration to its PC games. More specifically, according to the game's files, which have been viewed by VGC, Sony could be planning to allow PC players to link their PlayStation Network accounts to specific games and offer in-game bonuses as a reward for doing so. VGC confirmed Spider-Man's files contain multiple references to, quote, PSN account linked and PSN linking entitlements, unquote. In addition, there's references in Spider-Man's files to level cap extras in relation to PSN linking bonuses, suggesting Insomniac was either experimenting or planning to give players extra skill points for linking their accounts. As of right now, you can log into your PSN account via web browser, but there's been no correlation between the service and any of the PlayStation exclusives available on PC right now. Basically, you can just buy them on Steam or the Epic Games Store and earn achievements or time played stats via those platforms, but there is no crossplay or cross-save functionality or trophies that feed into a user's PlayStation-specific account. All of that previous information was reported on Monday, August 15th, and now, fast forward to today, where we have new reports that references have been found to a PlayStation PC launcher. Since the news broke, there's already been a few different takes from sites and folks around the industry celebrating and or lamenting the idea. The immediate gut reaction seems to be that PC gamers don't need yet another game launcher in addition to Steam, the Epic Games Store, and all the other ones from publishers like EA, Ubisoft, Blizzard, Riot, etc. On the other hand, some have contemplated the benefits of a PlayStation launcher, or rather imagined it as a logical extension of PSN. Gamertag Radio and Kind of Funny Games host Paris Lilly put it simply, if PlayStation can develop a PC launcher with full PSN ID integration, trophy support, and cloud saves from PS5 and PS4, sign me up. Arthur Geese, supervising editor at Wirecutter and host of the Rebel FM podcast, suggested, if PlayStation does try to create their own storefront/launcher for PC to sidestep Steam, that's when I'd expect a much smaller window between console and PC release dates for first-party games. It would let them sidestep Steam/Epic's cut and juice monthly active users to report to investors. And I think that kind of makes sense, especially in a scenario where maybe PlayStation decides to release those copies of the game earlier on their specific launcher versus on Steam and Epic, but I don't see them kind of cutting out their partners there, in which they are selling lots and lots of copies of their PC ports to lots and lots of PC gamers. So I don't think they're gonna really do anything like too gnarly to damage those partnerships, but at the same time, you never really know. There's a lot of things in motion now, a lot of things changing. What is clear is that PlayStation is very interested in PC gaming right now. Game Rant's Ben Grindle also added to the conversation that the move seems to make sense given Sony's heightened efforts to bring their games to the PC audience, and that ultimately having a PSN account functionally up and running on PC would demonstrate Sony's continued support for its plans while leaving the door open for PlayStation's presence to grow even further in the future. Now, while that might not be the most bold statement, obviously PlayStation wants to continue to grow their brand and their business, but if you think about it, it kind of makes sense in which Sony wants to get as many active users as they possibly can and kind of drag them into the console ecosystem if they can. I mean, whether you're buying their games on, on a PlayStation or on a PC, I think they don't really care, but they really do leverage their exclusives to get people to buy PlayStation consoles. So I think they could potentially here be leveraging something like PSN account linking and a PlayStation PC games launcher to get PC users into that ecosystem, so that if they play, an old Uncharted game or Spider-Man, they're going to want to play Spider-Man 2 right when it comes out, and the only way to do that is to own a PlayStation 5. I think that's just like potentially one small part of their overall strategy, but you can kind of see it now. Of course, there's still a ton of ambiguity as to how things would actually work if PlayStation games on PC were tied to PSN, or if Sony actually did go all in on a PlayStation launcher, but the company certainly has big plans for PC gaming in the future. The Last of Us Part 1 remake and the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection are still slated to drop on PC later this year, and there are plenty more games and franchises they can tap for their future efforts. Obviously, with Nix's software solely dedicated to porting old PlayStation exclusives, there are so many different titles in the library to play with. And then, of course, you can't forget about all of the new PlayStation exclusives currently in development that are likely to become PC ports eventually. All right, that's it for today. Let me know in the comments if you're dreading the existence of yet another launcher to add to the roster, or if you'd welcome this PlayStation PC games launcher with open arms. Thank you so much for watching, and for more video game news and updates, stay tuned right here to Inside Gaming.